go through the next set of phases. All right, cool. And why did I shut this book? I don't know why I shut this. Oh, I remember why I shut this book, because it's on the back. Oh, yeah. See, that's right. That's what I didn't like about this. It says resolve 1 through 4 of the players of the duel rules, which is great, except that, you know, I'd really rather it have actually said, you know, here's 1 through 4, right, there's the duel rules. I wish it would just said that. But alright, so, and I'm not gonna necessarily probably do these in the right order, but all the same stuff happens. Any started turn effects happen, no started turn effects happen. We're gonna unexhaust all of our cards, so let's get those unexhausted. We're gonna draw 2 cards to each hero's hand, and then we're going to play up to 2 cards for endurance. Here we go. Alright, so we have Hailstorm, which is a d6 plus 3 rain magic attack. So it's a little bit of an improvement over our current, no, Swarm of Hornets is actually better. Then we have Anatomy, add 3 to our hero's ranged. That's with the stones. That actually might be pretty good. We might have to use that and get rid of the extra chant there, because we already have one that's better. Alright, then we pull, okay, well this is neat. So we got Battle Axe, which is a d6 plus 4 weapon. Then we've got a helmet, which is a head armor item that protects against 3. So, whew. Alright, so let's start with Arbosh. So I think I'm definitely going to get rid of the Battle Axe, because I actually have something that's a little bit better. For 1. For 2... So the thing is, like the chainmail leggings I would love to play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I've got 7. I basically have 8. So in order to play this, is going to take half that. Or not this. So I could have got 8. If I played the chainmail, that'd be 5. The helmet's 3. That's all 8. And that's another turn of no attacking. Alright, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get rid of the chainmail, as much as I hate to. And the battle axe. Make those go here. That way I've got plenty of endurance to do whatever I want. Hopefully. So that's what I'm going to do with him. And then over here for Hilbert, we're going to get rid of, oh man. So I can take a discard card from a discard with one of these. So I'm going to hold on to that. So I'm just going to get rid of the Hailstorm because it doesn't do as much damage as the Swarm of Heroes. Alright. Oh, and I forgot to move this first player marker over here. Alright, so that's everybody's stuff laid out. Now it is time for the heroes to go. So, what are we going to do? We're going to do 1, 2, 3. Pay 3 to put out our helmet. Okay. Then we're going to pay 1, 2, 3 more to put out this advantage card. Resolute, if your health drops to 0, discard this card and reset your health to 1. So basically, it's a revive. Then we're going to pay 1 to attack 1d6 plus 5 with our Orc Nose axe. And of course, it's got to be the Mean Highwayman because he is on the end. So that's a 9. And that is under a 14, so that is a hit. So it's a d6 plus 5 against him. That's going to subtract 3 from that. I think that's a 6. Yes, so that's 11. You're going to subtract 3 for the armor that he's got. So that's going to be 8. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's just enough to kill him. Nice. And actually, I've done this incorrectly because I'm actually supposed to, when they die, put these back into this henchman deck. So I'll put them back in there. So let me give it a quick shuffle, 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 shuffle. This is my shuffling song. Shuffle, 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 shuffle. This is my shuffling song. Alright, there we go. There we go. And we'll shuffle up. Okay. So that was that. I think that's about all I can do. And I have potentially 3. Alright, here's what we're going to do. We're going to pay these 2 endurance and then add a 3rd one with the carousing. And we're going to take the flat touch illusion action. So 1 through a 3 and we can get rid of the swamp monster. 14. Nope. He persists. So that's all that done. And I'm going to put these up here just to kind of keep a stack of what we've done here and what's not. Right there. Alright, so now it's Hilbert. Hilbert is going to start out by paying 2. And he is going to play Good Memory. Take a card from discard pile into your hand. And we're going to take the Protective Amulet into our hand. There we go. Then we're going to pay 2 to play the Protective Amulet. This is what we just got rid of a minute ago. Then we're going to pay a total of, if I pay 2, Alright, we're going to pay 2 to do both of our, oh no, we're going to pay 3 to do all 3 of our attacks. And that'll leave us enough to pay for our liturgical enchantments. So we're going to start with a ranged attack, looking for a 10 or less. That's a 4, so that's a hit. And we're going for the Rabid Force Wolf again, remember, because of our environment card. That's a d6. That's a 5 damage, and it has no dodge and no dodge and no block. So it's at 13 damage. We only need 2 more to kill it. So I might actually be able to get rid of it this turn. So that was our ranged attack. Then we're going to do our magic attack. We're going to pay our 1. No, we're not going to do. Are we going to do that? Yeah. We're going to pay our 1 and do a magic attack. It's a d6 plus 6 damage if we hit with our hornets. Flip that right there. And we're going to target, with this, we need a 14 or less. 17. I think we're going to use a fate token to reroll. Yeah. So we're going to use a fate token to reroll that. 10. Okay, that is a hit. So it's a d6 plus 6. Oh man, another 6. That's 12 damage. Yeah, he's gone bye-bye. He gone bye-bye. So he goes back into the henchman deck. Gets shuffled back in. So let's shuffle it up as best we can. Quick shuffle. And stop. Cut. Alright. That leaves him with 2 endurance, which is enough to pay for keeping both the animal shape and the swarm of hornets out. That completes his combat. So now we're going to go to the enemy combat. So we have 2, he can do 2 attacks, and he can do 2 attacks. So first attack for the swamp monster, a 17, that is a nothing. And his second attack is a 15, which is also a nothing. Thieving bats, a 20, which is the henchman's. Oh goodness. I didn't do this last turn. That Iron Force crossbow is removed from the game. That's a special ability of the bat. At turn 2, I should have done that, and I failed to do that. My apologies. Okay, so nothing happens with him. He would have flown if he had any damage, but of course he didn't. Wolf, first attack is a 10. That is a random hero. Evens, odds. Hilbert's gonna take it. Damage 5. Gonna roll his save. Fail his save. And unfortunately, he cannot use this protective amulet. Dang. Because only against magic attacks. So he's gonna go from 16 to 11. Oh man, that stinks. Alright, so then his last attack of the Mean Wolf is a 20. No, it is a 1. A random hero suffers 2d6. Golly. Are you kidding me? Okay. Evens, odds. Okay, so if he fails this roll, and this is how I normally try to play this. If somebody dies, everybody dies. Although technically you don't do that. I just like to do that because I think it makes, I don't know, that makes it fun for me. And it makes it more of a challenge. Not that at this point I think this game needs that much more of a challenge, but I digress. So it's 2d6. So if he rolls 11, so he rolls a 6 and a 5, and he fails a save and throw, he's dead. Okay, 1, that's not bad. And then 1 more. So a total of 3. Wow, that could have been so much worse. And, oh my gosh, it's a 3. Holy crap. He only took 2 points of damage. Why can you not do that on, you know, when they're rolling like 10 points of damage? Okay. So that's all of them. We take the timer down. We check we check the card for effects. At 1, we draw a new henchman. Of course we do. Then we get a swarm. Okay, so this is the first time we've seen the swarm. And there's nothing on any of the henchman cards. Let's see, place 3 on this card every time they... Oh. Boo, boo, boo. So this is just how they show the life, which I am going to do for this particular case because it's going to make it easier. So this is, because it's a swarm, it's got three things. Alright, so that's it for that. So now we're back to our phase. So what were we going to do? Oh, this goes to the next one. Flips around. There we go. So we're going to just unexhaust all of our cards. Let's just go ahead and do that. We have the chance. And then we're going to draw 2 cards. There's no start of turn effects. So each hero is going to draw 2 cards. So we have another Swarm of Hornets for Hilbert. And then we have a Sickle, which is a 1d6 plus 2. Okay. So that's his 2 cards. And then Arbosh. Oh. Oh. Well, that's cool. Now Arbosh has that protective amulet. And self-control, add +2 to your hero's sword melee attack. So basically if we put him on that, that would be a 19. So unless he rolls a 20, he's gonna hit. Okay, then we decide if we want to add any more endurance cards. Well, I mean, Swarm of Hornets for sure is going to go over here on Hilbert. Because, I mean, he already has 1, so there's no sense in having 2 for sure. Honestly, as much as I like the Sickle, it is not as much damage as this animal shape. We could use... Yeah, it's going to go. So we're going to take both of the cards we drew, make them endurance cards, might as well. For our boy over here, I think I'm actually, as much as I like self-control, I think I'm going to use it as an endurance card. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Yep. Cool. So, let's get started. Oh wait, he should have suffered 1 less. I keep forgetting that. Sorry guys. This is, I don't know what my deal is. Okay. So let's start with his, we're going to pay 3. 1, 2, 3. We're going to play Anatomy, add 3 to your hero's ranged attack. So we're going to put that over here on his card. So now he's got a 14 in magic, a 13 in ranged, and a 9 in physical. Then we're going to pay 1 for Swarm of Hornets. And we have to attack the Swarm of Bats, unfortunately. And that's a d6 plus 6. And that is looking for a target of 14 or less. Whew, 13, just barely. They don't have a dodge, they don't have any block, so 1 of their tokens goes away. Then we have Animal Shape. We're going to pay 1 for that. We're going to attack. That's a 9 or less. That is a 4, so that's a hit. That's 2d6 plus 2. So that's 5, 7. That's technically 9. But again, they're swarms. They don't have a dodge. They don't have a defense. So it only just takes 1 of these tokens away. And we haven't done their ranged attack. So he's going to do his ranged attack, which again is now going to be 13 or less. 18, we're going to re-roll that. A 3, so that is a hit. And that's going to be a D6. It's a 4, that is enough to kill the swarm. So these guys go bye-bye. Alright. So there's our shuffle. And he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He has 6 left. You have to use 2 of those to pay for these cards at the end. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. So he's going to spend 4, and that'll be all of his cards, to attempt touch an illusion. So 4 or less. Oh my gosh, a 6. Alright. Now, let's go over here to our boy Arbosh. Let's see if we can get some stuff done. Okay. So, let's... Let's start with... we're going to pay 2 to put the amulet out. Then we're going to pay 1 to do his melee attacks. That's going to be 17 or less with the Orc Nose Axe against the Mean Wolf. An 8, that definitely hit. That's a D6 plus 5. That's a 6. That's going to be 11. Wow. Okay, there is no dodge. There is no... So that's 1 hit takes him out. Wow, this is awesome. Actually, this is really good. The question is... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I got a 7. Oh wait, I don't have any other attack I can do because I don't have any ranged weapon out. Shoot. Man. Alright, so we'll spend the 7. Then we'll get 1 more from the carousing. It's an 8. Touch illusion. We need an 8 or less. 13. Did not get rid of the swamp monster. Is that all I could do? I'm pretty sure that's all I could do. Yep. Alright. Well, it's getting there. So, now we go for our leader and henchman. Swamp monster first. He's going to get 2 attacks. 5. Swamp Gas, the hero with the most endurance cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. As opposed to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so it's going to be Hilbert. Returns one random endurance card back into her hand and suffers 1d6 plus 2. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so to make this as random as possible, 1 through 3, it's the top 6. 4 through 6, it's the bottom 6. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this card is going to be discarded in the top 6, and then this die will determine which card in the stack. 2, 3, 4, 5. So we get back a handful of sand. But then we take a d6 plus 2. And that is not magic, so we take the full amount. Unless we can save. So that's 4. And our save, which is not happening. So 4, we don't have any other way to block it. So we're actually going to take 3 because of the Martyr's Blessing. So we're down to 7. Alright, and then the Thieving Giant Bat rolls a 10. The starting hero loses 1 life. Okay. Well, so that means he loses none. The Thieving Bat would give himself a life, but he hasn't taken any damage, so that does nothing. Okay. Whew. We remove this last time counter. This is our last turn. At 0, and the next turn the swamp monster has twice as many actions. Oh Lord. That means he's got 4. Oh my gosh. Not that it's really going to matter, but probably, but. Okay, so that takes care of that. So now we're going to unexhaust everything. Boop, boop, boop. And we're going to draw 2 cards. We draw Sling. That's a ranged attack for Hilbert. That's good. And Treat Wounds as a talent. Heal 2 damage from 1 here. You know, really could have used that much earlier. Gosh. Alright, so then we have Frenzy, pay 3. This is basically after you successfully attack, add 3 damage as an advantage. And Chainmail, we can block 4, or we can block 4 and then discard it to reduce the damage by 3. Of course, it is 6, so that's the 2 cards. I think we can keep all the cards for Hilbert. And I think I'm just going to give up this card for Arbosh. Because, well, I don't know. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to hold on to it. At this point, just because I want to have as much armor on as I can and feel better about myself. We did not switch this over last turn, so it's actually Arbosh's go. So, what are we gonna do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We've got 10. So we could pay. Alright, well, let's do this first. Let's go with. Now, this is kind of crazy. I would pretty much be betting the farm on Hilbert. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11. I could potentially have 11 to roll on this to get rid of the monster. If I did that successfully and then was able to kill this bat with Hilbert, then we would actually win. What I don't have is I don't have a fate token. And that's basically, I mean, I'm betting on one roll. Gosh. It's the last turn. Let's do it. Man, I'm probably going to regret this. Alright, so 11 or less. Oh my gosh. It was on a 15 and it rolled to a 5. Y'all saw that. I wasn't touching it. Okay, so that was the touch and illusion. Removed from the game. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Okay. Oh man, I actually have hope now. This is great. That's everything for Arbosh. Hilbert's turn. If we can get rid of this bat, we will have done it. Okay. So let's make sure we do this right. So we're going to go ahead and play Treat Wounds as a talent. They're going to, because we can, we're going to pay 2, as it's free. We're going to pay 2 to play Sling, which is an upgraded version of his ranged attack. Then we're going to pay 1 to attack with his animal shape. That is the swords, that's 9 or less to hit. What is that? A 16. Let's re-roll that. A 4. Yes. Alright, so that hits. That's D6 plus 5. So that's 9. We do have a 10 dodge. 16. D6 plus 5 is 9. Boom. Henchman gone. Holy cannoli. 7 points, hit points, 10 hit points. Holy smokes, guys. That was so stinking close. That was like, wow. I mean, the thing is, though, if I had not made this roll with Arbosh and get rid of the swamp monster, that would have been, we wouldn't have made it through it. I mean, we could have done damage, but by the time we used cards to do that, I mean, we wouldn't have had very many endurance cards left to, if we hadn't have made that one big attack, to potentially roll that to get rid of the swamp monster. Wow. That's awesome. Okay, so, well, there you go. There's the first chapter of Forest of No Return. So let's see what happens. Alright. At the end of the turn, end of an adventure. Alright, the end of this chapter, Act 1, Forest. After a victory, finally you succeed at pooling your powers and defeat the swamp monster, and it doesn't take long before the last bewitched animals take flight and the last bandit lies beaten at your feet. You plunder the defeated robbers for valuables and then continue onwards. There is still a lot to do. So, let's go over here. We're at end of adventure. Heroes have succeeded if they manage to successfully finish its last act. Oh, that's the end of an adventure. That's not what I want. Brief respite. Between each act, an adventure. So let me just double check one more thing. Okay, yeah. Yep. So this is brief respite. So between the act of each adventure, the heroes have time for brief respite, allowing them to regain some of their vitality. Each player may choose one of the following actions for each time counter that was left on the previous combat. Well, crap, there's none. Man. But we do get, wow. Oh man, we do get 2 reward cards. That's about the only good thing that came out of that, because we don't have any time left, which means that we don't have any way to like heal ourselves and whatnot. So yeah, so this is the reward deck. We're going to shuffle it up. We're going to get 2 of these, and then we can distribute them to our heroes. But when we do that, if we keep the reward card, If you're here, oh wait, sorry, I'm reading the wrong thing. End of combat. All reward cards the heroes gained during the adventure. Oh, no. In the case of victory, if your hero's current life points are below 30, you're allowed to raise life points back to 30. Okay, thank you. Whew. I was going to say, we ain't got a chance, man. Alright, so those are going to go to 30. So we're going to go back to 30. That's good. Alright. Oops, too far. There we go. So we're back to 30. Pick up all the action cards and shuffle them back in your hero deck. Okay. So here are all of our cards. Wait. Oh, hold on. It says all of our action cards. So that means we get to keep out all the stuff we've got out. What? Did I? Yeah, so all this stuff stays out. All our endurance cards and action cards that we discarded go back in. Right? Ah, okay. Yes. So this is how this works. It took me a second. So we're gonna basically we can keep out all of our non-action cards, which is, I guess. I mean, I'm assuming that. I mean, let's say free action or whatever. So I'm assuming that permanent stuff like these chants and whatnot, since it is gonna, I think we're gonna try to keep through this. So all that stuff stays out, and then we get a reward card, and then we could turn in the reward card if we want to. So I'm gonna put that here. I'm gonna put all these over here. Endurance cards, action cards. Give it a quick shuffle. Nope. And no, don't do this right now. So, all right. So reward cards. Boom, ba-doop, 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 ba-doop. Alright, and then I'm going to cut it. So the reward cards are going to be Unerring Throwing Dagger. That's one. And the other is going to be Half Poison. And we'll look at this in terms of an adventure using a hero's weapon. If a henchman loses health from an attack with this weapon, the result of this action die rolls, of his action die rolls, are raised by 3 to the start of your next turn. So it makes it less likely for them to hit. So, now we have an option. We can either put them in our deck, or we can basically turn these in for one of these. Right? Each player can turn their reward in for one of these. And if we turn it in and we have that, then we can use that in this next phase, which is called Brief Respite. And we basically have 3 options. We can pick one. Oh, sorry. We have 3 options. We can pick one per counter that we have. So in this case, each hero would only have one. But if we had, say, one time left on the encounter card, the time card, then in addition to that, we would have 2. Because both of us would have one from that, and then both of us would have one from the reward that we have. So the options would be heal for 5, prepare, And basically you can put a card out at the beginning of the next combat, or you can take a fate point. So what do we want to do? I rather like the idea of the reward cards. They're fun. So I think I'm going to opt to keep them. Now here's the thing. When you do that, if you keep the reward card, you still have to adhere to the deck construction requirements for your hero. So I think that I'm going to give the half poison to Arbosh and the unerring throwing dagger. You know what? I think the unerring throwing dagger, I take the back. The unerring throwing dagger, I'm going to give up. I would give it to Hilbert. I'm going to give it up. And he's going to get one of the time tokens. And then I'm going to use that time token to heal him by 5. That'll take him to 35. Just because he doesn't have really a lot of defense mechanisms, and Arbosh does. So let's look at Arbosh. So the item, the half poison is an item. Okay. So what we have to do is we have to look at the deck construction for our heroes, and the maximum number of items or equipment, I guess. For him is 2. So let's do a quick look through the deck. That's an equipment card currently. And let's see if we find another equipment card for him. Alright, so there's no other equipment card. So basically we could just ditch a card. What do we want to lose? I think we're going to lose. I think we're going to just lose this card, this talent, because 1 helps, but 1's not really that significant. So we're going to lose that. So we're going to add the half poison then into the deck. Give it a shuffle. Not of the type Cupid, but just a general shuffle. And so that will be his deck. Okay, and he is going to have out this on him. If I'm misunderstanding this, please let me know. And also please know that this is probably going to be published in its entirety, so I won't have a chance to undo this. So let me know so I can do it for the next playthrough. So there's that. This card. Oh gosh, I forgot. I got one more card that needs to go back. His crossbow. We'll just shuffle those beginning of next time. So that's his deck's done. This technically goes away. I have to find a place to put that. And then we've got our boy Hilbert over here. Put all his stuff out. So you can actually string, I guess I should mention this. So each one of these things, like the Force to No Return, that's an adventure, right? When you do all 3 acts, that's a completion of adventure. You can actually pick characters and string a series of adventures together, and you'll get some experience, and that's basically how you can do some permanently upgrade your some of your stats and such, if you wanted to do that. I have not done that. I've done all the acts, but I haven't actually really gone through I guess a campaign, for lack of a better word, although that would be pretty fun to do at some point, but I have not done that, and I don't plan on doing that yet. So yeah, that's their deck. So there we go. That is Force No Return Act 1. I've got their cards sorted, so I will definitely play through Act 2 at some point. And like I said, I've got the cards sorted and done, so we should be good to go. And thank you guys for watching. Thank you for subscribing. I hope you enjoyed this. I am the Board Game Roamer, and I will see you in the next act. Bye, guys.